Hi, Happy Knitters. Welcome back to our podcast. So today is Saturday, May 6th, because yesterday was Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
We have an extra guest with us today. This is my daughter, Alexis. My name is Yolanda.
I'm Jordan.
And this is a potting. This is a knitting podcast about everything regarding, of course, knitting. So welcome back. It's been about 3 weeks since we podcast last, and yeah, I've got some actually finished objects this time.
Oh, today's episode.
Oh no, it's an episode.
Oh.
What is today's episode, guys?
Welcome back to episode 8.
8. It's episode 8. It's been.
I was about to say that wrong.
It's been a fun time podcasting with you guys. Yeah, so Alexis is probably going to go ahead and leave now because she's going to go play with her daddy so that we can get this podcast underway. But I had promised her that she could come on and say hi to you guys because she's been wanting to do it so badly. So Alexis, tell them goodbye and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye, I'll see you next time.
Okay, we're back, and Alexis is gone, of course, and she is going to have ice cream with her daddy. So she was very happy to leave the podcast. Okay, so Jordan.
Let's get started.
So at the end of this episode, we are going to do our 1,000 subscriber giveaway, the prizes. So if you guys want to stick around to the end. Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll probably sneeze again.
I'm sure you will. So if you guys want to stick around to the end of the episode, that would be lovely. Okay, so what's been going on with you, Jordan? What'd you do this morning?
I went back to my school to perform a band solo in front of a real judge. That was fun.
Tell them what instrument you play.
I play a brass trombone.
How cool is that? And what chair are you?
First chair.
Number
1 in the class.
Number 1 in your instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Jordan, you want to show them that so we can get this out of the way. So I'm sure if you guys have kids, you know what this is. It's the fidget spinner. All the kids have it. My kids are very gadgety kind of kids, and yeah, they had to have it as well. So he's actually going to put it away for the podcast because I told him, I said, we will not be doing that during this podcast.
And this thing.
Oh, and the Rubik's Cube.
I actually know how to solve these.
Okay, we're done. Okay.
They must see this.
They don't want to see that. So anyway, this is because it's a knitting podcast, not a Rubik's Cube podcast.
It could be.
No, it's not. Okay, so let's get started. So
that's my arm.
You already said it. I actually have some finished objects this week, which I can pat myself on the back about. I'm very happy about it. I'm happy to be able to show you guys some stuff. So the first thing up is, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen a couple of my finished objects because I generally post those there before I post them, before I do them on the podcast. And with that, let me tell you guys, I'm on social media as Happee Knits, HAPPEE, everywhere. That's Instagram, that's Facebook, that's Twitter, which I don't do a whole lot on Twitter. I'm more active on Facebook and Instagram. We also have a ravelry group called Happee Knits, so you guys head over there to introduce yourselves. I love seeing the pictures that you guys are posting, so if you don't mind going over there and joining the group, that would be awesome. So now back to my finished objects. So Alexis was real sad that I had knit Jordan a pair of socks and I had knit her dad a pair of socks, but she didn't have a pair of socks. So she asked me to knit her a pair of socks. So, in which of course I did. I've knit her one other pair before, and she was a lot younger, and we had mom and daughter matching socks, which was cute. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Oh, was it like that really
loud color?
What colors were they?
Okay, I'll show it to you after
the
podcast. Okay. So anyway, okay. So anyway, yes. So I knit her a pair of socks. And when I gave them to her, and most of you already know this, she said, "I love you, Mommy," because I knit her a pair of socks. How awesome is that? And so she is definitely knit worthy. So Jordan's going to show you the socks.
Okay. I will. Let's.
If you get my face there. Is it focusing? There we go.
There we go.
So these are a pair of socks that I knit for her. I did them toe up. And of course I did my fleegle heel as usual. And I did 2x2 ribbing for her socks. So I just wanted to make her some shorty socks. And so that's what I did. And this is in the colorway. This is the KnitPicks Hawthorne Kettle dye in the colorway Picnic. And guys, hang on just a second, because I want to tell you, I knit these with my new signature needles. So they're actually back here on the table. So let me grab those real quick and tell you how I feel about those needles. Okay,
We're back.
We're back. So as most of you know, I went to DFW Fiber Fest and I bought a pair of these signature needles. It's on your face, Jordan. Okay, we have a new camera, by the way, so the focusing is much better. And so it's still face tracking, but that's okay. If your face is out of the way, it'll actually focus on the object. But anyway, so these are my signature needles, as you can see. And I knit Alexis's, you can come back in. I knit Alexis's socks with these needles. So let me tell you a little bit about what I like about these needles and what I don't like about these needles.
Cons.
So pros and cons. So these needles are somewhat expensive, as you guys know. And I have coveted these needles. I've been looking at them for a long, long time. And I finally made the decision to buy them a few weeks ago. Now, let me tell you what I love about these needles. The tips, these are called the stiletto tips. The tips on these needles are absolutely amazing. I mean, just amazing. Let me see. And I think it's,
There we go.
there we go. They are amazing. So anyway, I love them. These are great needles for knitting socks. I will, hands down, it beats, for me, and this is my personal opinion, the tips beat the Chowgoo tips and the Haya tips.
Are those the red ones?
The Chowgoos are the one with the red cord, and the Hayas are with the blue.
I really want to go get it now.
No, because I have some here. So anyway, so I love the tips of this needle. Very, very nice. Let me tell you what I don't like about the needles. You see this cord? This cord has a little bit, to me, of a memory. And I have knit a pair of socks with them and they still look like this. So I was a little disappointed. I was a little disappointed in the fact of the cord. The cord, and I've had a viewer, a subscriber, to say, you know, to soak them in warm water to loosen the cord up. I have not done that because I wanted to show you guys the cord itself. Now, would I buy another set of these needles? I'm on the fence because, like I said, the tips are absolutely wonderful. And I felt like, and it could be the yarn, because I'm gonna of course continue to knit with these needles, but I felt like there was a little bit of a drag. Now it could be that I was knitting these socks kind of tight, and so getting them to slide over the cord may have been an issue with the yarn. But I am also a 2 at a time knitter, so that also could have been an issue as well. But yeah, so I love the tips. Not crazy about the cord, but I will continue to use these and let you know once I run these the cord through some warm water or to see if it will loosen up the cord a little bit. But yeah, it was kind of in the way, and it's a little stiff. So I like the cords on the Chow and the Haya is better. So yeah, so that is my review of the signature needles. Like I said, I love the tips. So anyway, so that's that. So the tips. So the next thing I want to talk about that I finished object is, you guys know in some of the last episodes that I bought some KnitPicks Dishie.
Dishcloth yarn.
Dishie. It's in your face. So anyway, so with that, let me turn it around this way. So with that, this was my first time using the KnitPicks Dishie, and this particular color is, what was it, Jordan? Red Rover?
Red Rover.
Red Rover. So I will tell you that this cotton yarn was a lot, I wouldn't say a lot thinner, but it was noticeably thinner than Sugar and Cream or Peaches and Cream, if you guys have used that cotton before. Oh. Yeah, if you've used that cotton before. So I knit a traditional, and I have not woven in the ends. I knit a traditional washcloth with it because I've got a bunch of this yarn and I'm trying to restock my dishcloths for myself and family members who actually like these dishcloths. So
in it, right?
What?
Those don't take long to knit.
No, they don't take long to knit at all. They're a fast knit. Now I did do something.
Could you do it in a day?
Yes, you can do it in a day. What I did do on this, which I will not do again, is my size 7 needles, my metal needles were occupied on another project. So I knit these with wooden needles, bamboo needles. Cotton and bamboo, they are not a good combination. So I will wait because it's a little bit of a drag. So it's a little bit harder to work with wood needles because they hold real well. So I won't do that again with this dishcloth because, like I said, it was not an enjoyable knit because, yeah.
I just had a thought.
My neighbors are outside looking at their roof. They just got their roof done because you guys know, if you looked at my Instagram account, we had baseball size hail here about a month ago, and so they just got their roof redone, so they're checking it out, and we need to get ours done, but we're going to wait till the end of the hail season here in Texas because trust me, since we've had that one round of hail, we probably have had three more rounds since then. So to me there's no need. If I don't have any leaks in my roofing, I'm not going to get it done until the end of the summer. So I digress. So anyway, back to this dishcloth. Like I said, it is noticeably thinner than the other cotton yarn that I've used in the past. Is that a bad thing? No, not necessarily. I knit this on a size 8 and it's very pliable, whereas if I had knit the other Sugar and Cream yarn, it probably would have been a little bit thicker. So my suggestion for myself and maybe for you guys is to go down probably a couple of needle size if you like a more denser fabric for your dishcloths. And just so that I could give you a little bit of comparison, this is some Peaches and Cream that I've had just in my stash for some time. And
in the closet.
I'm going to see if you can tell the difference in the diameter of these two yarns. Let's see if you can see them.
I can see it from all the way over here.
Can you see it from all the way over there? So yeah, it's noticeably a different thickness. But like I said, that's not, I think I just lost my skein. It's not a bad thing. It's just something that you should keep in mind if you're going to get KnitPicks Dishie cotton. So anyway, I have several skeins of it. I'm going to use it because for me, I'm using them for dishcloth. So I really don't care. You know, I like a thicker washcloth or dishcloth, but it's not a deal breaker for me.
It's almost a 300 followers.
Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is
Instagram.
my
Yarn. Contrast socks.
contrast socks. How
there.
awesomely awesome is that? Now, I have never done contrast. I'll put this in the camera. I've never done contrast heel before because my go-to heel is the fleegle heel. So this is my first time doing a Afterthought heel, and it was a true Afterthought heel, and I gotta tell you, I absolutely loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. Cutting the
new heel.
It's a new heel for me. Cutting the yarn was so much fun and kind of thrilling to say the least, and it literally just worked out. I used a Kirby Wirby tutorial on YouTube, like most of us have done, and it's ingenious that you pick out the yarn and you pick it out till the last 2 stitches on the end, and you leave those intact to avoid holes at the end. Genius, absolutely genius. So anyway, so I mastered, I take that back. I wouldn't say I mastered it, but I did the Afterthought heel, and I did a Kitchener stitch. I am not the best at
a Kitchener stitch compared to a normal stitch.
It's how you graft live stitches together to where it should be seamless, and you should literally not see where it was grafted together. That's not necessarily true on my socks.
It's not that easy.
And it's not that Kitchener stitching is hard. I actually I lost my place. And it was hard for me to get back to, it was actually hard for me to get back to where I needed to be. And I know that when you do the Kitchener stitch, for me, I need to be in a quiet room with no activity going on and to just get those stitches done. So with these socks, I did my standard. There's a seam-free rounded toe on YouTube that I like to use for all of my socks.
Same color, and same color. That's what contrast is.
No, it's just that the contrasting is different from the yarn that you use. So you could technically have different colors for different things. So anyway, so I did the seamless rounded toe. Sorry, that's out of frame. I did the seamless rounded toe.
I'm trying to focus on me.
Yes. Ooh. I did the seamless rounded toe. I did the Afterthought heel, which I'm proud of because I did not have any holes here. And I decreased down to, I think it was 14 stitches before I did the Kitchener stitch. And I did 2x2 ribbing at the top. And I did the Jenny surprisingly stretchy bind off. So I am so happy with these socks.
You're so happy.
Get it? Ha ha ha. I'm so happy with these socks, and would I do it again? Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely would totally do it again. So I think, is that all my FOs? Let me look at my notes to make sure. Yep. Those are all of my FOs. So now on to whips. So I started my sister's socks, which I'm looking on here. Oh,
one of your sisters.
One of my sister's socks that I promised them, and it is. I started them last night, as a matter of fact. So they are in
I wound the yarn into the little yarn cakes.
He wound the yarn into the little wound. Yeah. So anyway, so this is the yarn that she picked out. I started these last night, so I literally have just gotten the toes done. This is Turtle Purl. She's a Canadian dyer, and she
oh, that's the person who splits the yarn.
Yeah, so she splits her yarns her skeins into 2 different ones, and they're identically matched because they're dyed together. So you should get 2 perfectly identical socks if you start them at the same time, which I did. And I'm already slightly off because I think when I did knit 2 at a time, I think my gauge on one sock is slightly different than my gauge on the other. I think because I change up the way I knit, I think, on the second sock. So anyway, so this is Turtle Purl. I absolutely am in love with this colorway. It is her City Girl colorway, and I've shown it to you before in other podcasts. So this is that's what it looks like knit up. This is what it looks like caked up. What?
Is that red dot flashing?
I don't know. So anyway, so that's it. Move your face. That's it caked up. Like I said, it's a beautiful skein. I just am in love with it, and I think that my sister will love it too. I will say this about this particular yarn. It's a little bit thinner than some of the yarn I've been working with in the past. So yeah, I normally knit 64 stitches, and it is already slightly big on my foot, and my sister has narrower feet than me, so she's actually going to come see me today. So I might have to decrease down to 60 stitches, or even eventually 56. If I do 56, I might rip these out and just start over. Going down from 64 to 60, I can totally manage that. But if she's thinner than that, then yeah, I don't know, because that might look a little weird.
How many stitches are my feet?
I do yours with 64 stitches.
I have big feet.
You have big feet. So anyway, so that is my work in progress. And then next up is going to be my, and you guys, I actually told the viewer that I was not going to show this again until it was done.
But you did anyways.
But I'm going to anyway because it is not done. But I did get a little bit further than I have in the past. So if you are a new viewer, this is my Camp Wilkerson. No. Okay. This is my Camp Wilkerson. I barely can say
Camp
it.
Wilkerson.
Camp Wilkerson shawl or wrap.
Shawl.
Yes. So anyway, this is a picture of the lovely shawl. Beautiful. Like I said before in my last podcast, very simple, easy knit.
Instructions.
It's great for a beginner. But I will tell you that I have gotten to the eyelet section of
that's cool.
My
So you finish all
wrap.
the stripes.
And I think I was here the last time I podcasted, so now I am up to
our new color. The blue.
I'm up, and it's actually showing a little bit different on the camera than it is, but I cannot wait to finish this. I cannot wait to show you guys the finished project. It is actually a joy to knit, and this really is my first, this will be my first wrap / shawl that I will have finished.
Wait, what about the other wrap?
I just said the first wrap or shawl that I will finish.
But what about the other one in general?
It's hibernating. He's talking about I want that wrap. It's hibernating, and I will eventually get back to. Can I finish talking?
No.
I will eventually get back to that wrap, but you see the vibrancy in this, in the colors of this versus my I want that wrap, and yeah, I'm enjoying this more. This is the Malabrigo Rios, And I have to tell you, this yarn is lovely to knit with. It is very soft. And I'm in, stop, Jordan. I am in love with this yarn, and I bought two skeins of each color, which I'm not going to use. I probably won't even dip into some of the skeins for this, so I will definitely be using that leftover yarn in another project. But yeah, I'm really in love with it. And this, so that you guys know, I'm knitting these on my Jawoll size 7 40-inch cords, and it is working out perfectly for me. But I worked on this so much that I think I almost calloused my finger with this project. So I actually had to switch to sock knitting because my finger was kind of very sensitive after knitting this for a long
what that means? If like you do something for a really long time to the point where like a side of your finger starts becoming really, I've done that before. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, so so it's just that I sat down and I knitted on this for a very long time instead of taking a break or just knitting a few rows, which I should have done, and then switched to something else or just stopped, and I didn't do that. So yeah, my finger got sensitive, and I went back to sock knitting, which alleviated the sensitivity completely.
Bye-bye.
So that is my whip that I'm not going to even promise you guys that the next podcast you're not going to see it, because I've said that before, and yeah, that was not the case. So that was one whip, and I showed you my sister's whip. I'm knitting her socks on the Haya sharp needles. They are one of my favorites, that and the Jawoll, so definitely great needles, and those are size 1s. so yeah, I don't have as many whips as I have had in the past, but that's good though, because I had told myself I was going to finish what I had before I started on something else. Now the other thing which I wanted to tell you, which was a whip, and you guys saw this too in some of the past episodes. I was doing a test knit for Madeline of the Knitting House Square podcast, and her test knit was a cabled hat, which I showed you guys, and it was a chart. I have never worked with a chart before, and I can honestly say I was utter failure. I don't think my mind is ready for charts right now. I think there was nothing, it was not the pattern at all, it was me. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to just take this hat. I tinked back because I messed up the cabling so bad. Tinked back, and I think this is just going to be a regular knitted, the brim is going to be ribbed, of course, and then just plain stockinette for the rest of the hat. And that was knit in my Berrocco Vintage. I don't even think I have the tag in here, or the colorway. I don't have a tag.
It's in the colorway gray.
But it was one of my, it was my first time knitting with the Berrocco Vintage, and I actually really like it, so it won't be my last time. I have thoroughly enjoyed it, so yeah, I'll actually do that again. So yeah, so that's another whip, and actually that is my last whip.
Camera's going off soon.
Is it?
2 minutes.
Is it?
2 minutes, we hit 30.
Okay. So this lives in my twisted yarn and fiber bag. Yes. It is my owl bag, which I've shown you guys before.
Lots of times.
And I love it because I like owls. I like owls. So Isn't it pretty with all the nice jewel tone colors? And I'll leave all of that information for everyone if they want to check out her Etsy shop. I think that you would totally enjoy it. So now we're up to the what section, Jordan? What section are we up to?
After that, after whips, picks.
It was a section. It was a section of our podcast that he named, and he doesn't even know when it's coming up. And what does PIC stand for?
Projects in queue.
Projects in queue. So that means projects that I am going to knit that are currently not on my needles.
They haven't been casted on.
Okay.
We are back.
We are back.
Again.
The camera cuts off after 30 minutes. So, yeah. So anyway, so now what we have in our pick section is I have wound up a skein of yarn from my other sister. And this is another a bag that I got from Utterly Adorable Knits. Jennifer Frank, she has a Etsy shop on
Etsy?
She has a shop on Etsy. And I love her 2 at a time bags. They are my favorite. They are pocketed on the inside, and they have this cute button that keeps your yarn separated.
Falling out.
So anyway, so this is the sock yarn that my sister decided to use for her. Can you even see that colorway? Yeah.
Yeah.
That she wanted to use for her her socks. And it is Lang Jawoll, 75% wool, 25% nylon, and it's 100 grams. I'm not sure of the yardage. It's 420 meters. And yeah, so this is the color that she chose. And I've worked with Lang Jawoll before, so I know the thickness of the yarn for that. And I think a 64 count would work just fine for her socks as opposed to my other sister's socks that I may have to go down on a different side. So this is the yarn wound up, and I think it's going to be a nice spring color. I got a nice spring color. So yeah, I think that that's going to be something that she is really going to enjoy. And I'm going to knit those on my, yes.
Oh, I guessed it without even looking.
My Chalgoo,
Yeah.
because I'm going to tell you, so I have one set of Chalgoo, one set of Hayas, and one signature needle. So anyway, I can hear that my husband and daughter are back, so she will probably come bouncing in here very shortly. So let me wrap this up real quick. So we've got that for in the pick section. I'm going to do a chevron baby blanket for her with I think it's Espas Tricot. They have a I think it's blowing out. They have a podcast on YouTube, and my daughter sleeps with a blanket at school. She takes a nap every day at school, so she just has a store-bought, commercial-bought blanket, and I thought it'd be really nice to give her something that I knit for her that she can snuggle up with at school every day. So that is on my to-do list. So I think she'll be very happy with that because she is definitely knit worthy. The last thing is I am going to do another test knit, and you guys know the first one didn't go so well, so let's just see about this. This is, this is, and I thought I had it already up. Sorry about that. So this is, let me find the picture.
The picture.
It is a test knit for Wendy Geckner. She is Baba Yaya on YouTube, and I believe Baba Yaya on Ravelry. But these are her, can you see that? These are her pineapple socks that she is having us to test knit. And I gotta tell you, they are so stinking cute. The only thing that is the problem is that I don't have, my husband is back, that I don't have green and, I have green yarn. I just don't have the yarn that would be beneficial for the pineapple color. You probably can hear her in the background. I'm sure she's very happy that she has had her ice cream. So the last thing I want to talk to you about, and then we'll wrap this up and go to, bless you, go to the winners, is going to be my last acquisition. So when I was at DFW Fiber Fest, there was a lady named Diane at, she owns Tumbleweed Yarn, and she is on Etsy. She's on Etsy, and I saw a colorway. She had a display at the Fiber Fest that I absolutely fell in love with.
Have I seen this one?
No, but she did not have any at the actual Fiber Fest. So she was gracious enough to dye some up for me and send it to me after the Fiber Fest was over with. And if you guys have not seen Tumbleweed's yarn, you need to go on to Etsy because she is an amazing dyer and she is from Texas. And this is her colorway, Confetti. Jordan. And I gotta tell you, and this is her her card. If I put it down right, this is her card. Tumbleweed. And this is, like I said, in the colorway Confetti. And the colors are really vibrant because you guys know how much I love color. And it is an 80-20, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 100 grams, and 400 yards. So I had to have it. And now I do, and of course it will be a pair of socks for somebody. But anyway, check out her Etsy shop. Like I said, beautifully dyed yarn. And yeah, so she actually sent that to me, so I'm very happy about that. So lastly on this podcast, I'm sorry I keep looking down, but I have my notes because I will not remember. Okay, our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I want to thank you guys again. What are you doing? I want to thank you guys again for subscribing to my channel, supporting our podcast. I love interacting with each and every one of you in regards to your comments that you make on the Ravelry group, the comments that you make on YouTube. I enjoy looking at them. I enjoy commenting, etc. So I just want to thank you guys so much. So let's just get to it. So I had a question on the YouTube comments about what was one of the things that you struggled with when you were knitting or crocheting or learning how to do that as far as techniques, patterns, etc. And you guys flooded the comments below, and I loved reading each of them. So thank you guys for doing that for me. So we have 3 winners that we were going to pick out for this giveaway. And Jordan, I forgot to get the prizes. So hold on.
About to ask.
So hold on just a moment. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry about that.
For a third time. So now we are going to announce the winners of the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So we did a random number generator. Jordan was in charge of that. We made sure we captured everybody's names that made comments in the order in which they made comments. And we had, I think, 46 entries for this giveaway. And so the first name that we drew was Cheryl Campbell. Cheryl Campbell, yay! Cheryl, if you will get in contact with me, you are going to be the winner of the Ethel Funk, kind of the Southwest, the Southwest bag with the beautiful detail on the bottom with the button. So this will be a great sock yarn. What am I doing? Sock yarn bag. So and it is drawstring. So congratulations, Cheryl. Did it have to be that bad?
So next up is going to be The winner is Joy McClellan.
Yay!
Yay, Joy. Joy, you are going to be the winner of the other Ethel Funk bag. I don't know. Yeah, Ethel Funk bag. And this is the one with the cats on it. Meow. And I hope you're a cat person. So look at the inside of this bag. Beautifully done. And it is also a drawstring bag with a cute button detail on the bottom. And last but not least, we have Chris B. Yay, Chris. You are going to be the winner of the skein of KnitPicks Hollywood, I believe it is, the stroll in the Hollywood hand-painted colorway. And it is 462 yards, and it is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. So if you guys will get in contact with me, I will get those prizes out to you in the mail. And I want to thank you guys again for showing me and my channel and Jordan lots and lots of love. So Jordan, is that about it for today's episode?
Oh. My new segment in our podcast is going to be called Happee Trivia. So,
okay, so guys,
the question for today.
Listen, this is new to me. We did not discuss this beforehand, so I don't know what he is doing.
The question for this podcast is, where did knitting come from? If you know the answer, go down to the comments and answer. The answer will be told next podcast.
Well, isn't he ingenious? He just literally thought of that all on his own just a few minutes ago. Great.
Knowledge.
Knowledge is what?
Power.
Power. Knowledge is power. So I think that's it, Jordan. So guys, I am currently working on my next tutorial. I'm going to do 2 at a time mittens, just your basic mittens, because in case anybody has ever wanted to learn how to do mittens, or they wanted to learn how to do them 2 at a time, that's going to be my next tutorial. I'm working on that currently, so I hope to have that out in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I hope that you guys, that will benefit some of you guys, and I really do think that's it, Jordan. I think we're going to wrap this up.
Wrap this up.
It's been a joy coming to you guys today. So we hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.
Bye. Fidget spinner.